That stuff gave me the bubblies, something wicked. I ain't ever having no more. Hey girl, hey, it's me, Amber D, and thank you so much for coming through for another video. If you haven't already, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. All right, girl, so I just made myself a quick little breakfast. I got my rice cake with this is a caramel rice cake with peanut butter. I'm not the biggest peanut butter person. So whenever I have one of these, I do like a thin layer of peanut butter. I know it's a healthy fat, so I'm doing my best. And then I cut myself up a kiwi. I have an apple and an orange in there. I didn't feel like mixing all the fruits and do like a little fruit salad, but normally when I do like the honey drizzle and the cinnamon over my fruit, it's with more than just one fruit, but I went to keep it cute today. But I also normally don't drizzle the honey and the cinnamon on my rice cake, but I like it. I also want to try the apple cinnamon rice cake with or without the peanut butter. I think that'll be good. I'm about to eat this and I'm going to go to my office. If you've been here for a minute, you know that I recently wrapped up edits on my third book, which is the last in the series for the Vibe Catcher series. Late Night Vibes and Match Vibes are already out. So the third book, I just finished the first round of edits. I've submitted to my beta editors. I'm going to let them, give them some time to do their thing, read, and then give me their thoughts and feedback. And then I will go through another round of edits and then submit for copyrights, and that book will be out this summer. And I'll be wrapping up the Vibe Catcher series. I'm so excited for this series. My first series, my first novellas. I'm just super excited for the whole process, which started last summer. So to release my third book this summer will literally be like a year in this whole process, which is really fast. Some people take a whole year just to write one book. So I started with the outline of my first book last summer, last June to be exact, towards the end of June. And this summer I'll be releasing my third book, a whole complete series. And what I'm actually going to be working on this morning is the outline to my fourth book, my fourth novella, which will be starting a whole new series actually. So it'll be like a whole new set of characters. So the new series will still be set in Amaretto, so it'll still be some familiar places that you may have remembered from the first books, but it'll be a new set of characters. So I'm really excited to kind of see where this series goes, how it starts out, how it finishes. I already have an idea of the different characters for each book in the series, but I'm going to be working on the outline for the first book in that series today. But girl, I also want to, okay, so you know I have been obsessed with my green tea refreshers. This is my pomegranate green tea decaf, because me and caffeine do not get along. But I've been making these every morning for probably over a month now. The last time I was showing you how I make my green tea, I was actually brewing the tea. And I was brewing the pomegranate green tea. I just heat the water up in my Keurig, and then I fill it in the little glass container. I put tea bags in there and let it do its thing. The last time I was showing you that, I was also making my decaf coffee that I do the same thing. I make some K-cups, put them in the glass container, and I just set it all in the refrigerator so that way in the morning when I'm ready to make my ice, whether it was the tea or my coffee, it would just be ready to go. And that last time that I showed you making both, I never even took one sip of that coffee. I have literally changed over to my green tea, because right around the time is when I was really looking to eliminate a lot of unnecessary sugar from my diet, especially a lot of things with added sugar. And my creamers, even though they were dairy free, they still had, I think it was 4 grams of sugar per tablespoon. And baby, when I was making them iced coffees, I was using way more than 1 tablespoon for my cream. I was putting a lot of cream and I was frothing it up. And I wasn't doing like all the caramel drizzle and all that extra stuff and the coffee syrups. I mean, I do have coffee syrups over there and I have used them before. But here more recently, I was making my coffee. It was just with the iced coffee and the creamer. And it was a lot of creamer. And so I was just trying to eliminate that sugar from my diet. So I haven't really made an iced coffee in so long. So I've just been drinking these, which is just my pomegranate green tea, the decaf, honey, and a little bit of lemon juice. And I literally have one every morning. So in an attempt to have less sugar in my diet, because a lot of sugar, I've learned, breaks me out, I was like, even though honey is a natural source of sugar, it is still sugar. And I'm still having it like every single day. So I was like looking into, are there sugar-free honey options? And the only sugar-free honey option that came up for me was imitation sugar, which I didn't even realize was a thing. Didn't even know it was a whole thing. But apparently it is. And I got some. And I didn't really get it to replace honey, like fully replace honey, because I know honey has a lot of good benefits for my skin as well as the green tea. Like honey is good for your skin, whether you put it on top of your skin or you're ingesting it. And so I didn't get it to replace honey in my diet. I just got it to kind of substitute sometimes. So I'm not having honey every single morning, since I clearly can't get over these green tea refreshers. Like I just have to have one every day. It's working for my skin. I really like how it tastes. So I was like, I can alternate. One morning I can have honey, the other morning I can have imitation honey, just to kind of switch it up. And, so I can have sugar in other places in my diet versus, having a lot of sugar. Not a lot, but having sugar in my morning drink and other times throughout the day, because I love me a good sweet snack or a good sweet dessert. And I've eliminated a lot of those in an attempt to have less sugar in my diet. So I tried this imitation honey, girl. This is the one I got. It's from this brand called Honey Trees. And it's sugar-free imitation honey. It pretty much doesn't have anything else in it. There's no, like how regular honey has, oh, this one doesn't have the full thing on here, but I think honey has, I don't know if it's potassium or one of the, like a couple of those other ones, and vitamin A, vitamin E, I believe. This imitation honey don't have nothing. Everything on the back is all zeros except for the calories. It has 50 calories. But I was like, I'm not getting it for any type of health benefits. I'm just getting it to, sub out sometimes and have less sugar from my honey sometimes. So I had this in my green tea refresher yesterday morning. And I did notice that it's a little bit sweeter than regular honey. It doesn't really have like the traditional honey taste, but it was a little bit sweeter. The consistency for the most part is a little bit runnier, but I liked it. Taste-wise, I didn't have any problems with it. And then it was maybe about an hour and a half after I had my refresher, after I had my little morning green tea. And girl, that stuff gave me the bubblies, something wicked. I ain't ever having no more. Girl, this stuff I do not recommend. Don't do it, girl. Don't do it. Don't do it to yourself. It was not worth it at all. I literally had 1 tablespoon and I will never have another. Girl, this stuff tore my stomach up. When I tell you, it was a rough day yesterday. It was a very rough day. Girl, it would, and I'll just have the sugar. I would rather just have the sugar. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Don't do it. And the last time my stomach was this bubbly was when I had a glass of milk, like whole milk, cow milk. I've been on almond milk for years now. But I mean, other dairy in my diet don't make me bubbly. Because up until last year, I was having ice cream like every single day. Cheese, everything. It'll break me out, but it won't upset my stomach. Only like cow's milk will upset my stomach. And girl, this stuff had the hardest time going through my system. It fought its way through my stomach, my large intestine, my small intestine. Like, girl, it put up a fight the whole way out, and it was not comfortable in any way, shape, or form. I do not recommend. I would. The only reason I still have this now is because I wanted to show it to you and tell you not to get it. Don't do it. I don't know that it's this brand or just imitation honey in general, because I know it's made of stuff that's not natural, like honey. I mean, honey is processed different ways, so there's different levels of honey, but this ain't honey, and it ain't it. And I ain't ever having no more. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But anyway, girl, now that it's out of my system and we are feeling good again, I'm back to my regular honey. This is clover honey. This is the one that I normally use. This is the one, it's a regular brand. I also get the HEB brand sometimes. It's just regular clover honey that I like. And we're just gonna have the sugar from the honey, and we're just gonna keep doing my other diets. Everything else in my diet, less sugar as possible. I mean, I'm not never gonna have dessert again or anything like that, but we're just making smarter food choices because I've learned how different things affect my body. When my body is telling me different things, I know it's telling me that it doesn't like something that I'm either putting on my skin or ingesting through my diet. And then I've learned the signs when my body is telling me it doesn't want something. So my body doesn't want too much sugar. As much as I love it, I love the taste of it, my body does not want too much of it. So I'm finding other ways to still have sweetness in my diet. And honey is doing me well, so I'm not gonna fight it. I'm not gonna be trying a whole bunch of other stuff to avoid too much honey, but it is what it is. I'm gonna finish this, and then I'm gonna go work on the outline for my next book. So I have been at it for a little bit now. I made some good progress. I got my outline done. So I'm actually back in office tomorrow. So when I'm off on Tuesday, I will start chapter 1 of book number 4. So we'll officially start the book writing process on Tuesday. So starting about halfway through April, I write 1 chapter a day on the days that I don't go into work. So with that, it usually takes me about 2 months to get through all the chapters for my novellas, which are all 27 chapters. I go with the 3-act method. So each act has 9 chapters. So each book has 27 chapters. So starting chapter 1 on Tuesday, I should be finished with chapter 27 about halfway through June. Since I'm only writing when I'm off. If I was just writing every day and I didn't have to go into work, if this was my full-time job, I would be able to write a book in 27 days, which 28 days is 4 weeks. So I would be able to write 1 book a month and then edit and go through that whole process. I mean, right now my books have been out. I put my first book out in December. My second book came out in March. My third book will be out this summer. It'll be June. I'm planning for June. And then this book that I'm about to start in April, right now the release date, what I'm believed to be if I keep up with my timeline, should be out in September. So I'm moving through these novellas pretty quickly. I'm also kind of wondering when I'll get to the point where I'm ready to write an actual novel. Because if you're not familiar, a novella is kind of right in between a short story and a novel. It's longer than a short story, but it's shorter than a novel. So I can actually appreciate a good novella. I don't always need a full novel. Sometimes I feel like novels are stretched out. There are some authors will literally just stretch it out and add a whole bunch of extra words just for the word count to get to the novel stage. And I don't want to do that. I feel like I can tell the stories that I want to tell in that sweet spot of a novella. Like I said, it's longer than a short story, but it's shorter than a novel. And I feel like I like that. For what I'm doing now, I feel like novellas are perfect. If I get to the point where I'm writing a novel, it might be a different, and not that it wouldn't be like a romance, because that's my favorite type of book to read. So I feel like that's where or at least as of right now in my writing career, that's kind of where I want to stay, in the romance genre. But I feel like that would be something that may come in the future. But for right now, I feel like I'm really good in the novella sweet spot. That's my thing. That's what I'm enjoying. That's where I see a lot of my growth as an author. And I'm really excited. So like I said, I'm going to start book number 4 on Tuesday. And I'm also going to complete the next round of edits for book number 3, so we can continue to work on that progress and go from there. But right now, I'm gonna chill out for a little bit. I'm also gonna get some more reading on my book of the month for book club. We're actually not having book club tonight. We normally have book club on Sunday evenings. We're not having it tonight. My book club is actually hosting a vision board party. My book club generally is all virtual. There's women from all over the place. We have a chat that we engage in daily, and then we have our virtual book club meeting on Sunday evenings. But yesterday, the book club hosted an actual in-person vision board party in Houston, where the founder is from. So a lot of the women flew in or drove in from different areas to attend. I wasn't able to. Hopefully I'm able to go next year, but it just wasn't in the cards for me this year. I had some other stuff going on, but I wasn't able to go. So since they had that last night, a lot of the ladies are still there and or leaving today. So we're not doing our book club meeting tonight. And then next Sunday is Easter. We're going to have like a really, really short meeting, but I do still want to get some more chapters in of that book, because it's a Black Girl's Financial Guide to Freedom or something like that. I may be butchering the name, but it's by Paris Woods. I'll insert a picture, and I'm actually going to be reading it later. Like I said, I'm going to chill out for the time being. I'll probably have some lunch, make myself a salad that I've been obsessed with these past few days, make myself a salad for lunch, and then I'll probably chill on the back patio. It's going to be nice and warm today. Not just, well, it's warming up. It's definitely warming up, but once it's a little bit warmer, because I'm always just sitting over somewhere cold anyway, so once it's a little bit warmer, I'll go chill out on the back patio and get some more reading done. And then by then, husband should be home from work. So I'll probably chill with him for a little bit and then figure out what we're going to eat for dinner, like always. And I'll check back with you later. Like I was telling you earlier, I just came out of my patio to read. It feels so good out here. It feels so, so, so good. It's almost 3 o'clock, and I came out here around 2. So I've been out here for almost an hour. But this is the book I've been reading, The Black Girl's Guide to Financial Freedom by Paris Woods. This is, like I was telling you, our book club book of the month in honor of Financial Literacy Month. We chose a book on financial freedom by a black girl to help us kind of get in our bag a little bit more. Like I was telling you before, my savings goal is almost always the goal for the year that I fall short on. So I'm determined not to do that this year. So far, so good with the savings goals I've set for myself. I have been sticking to them, and usually by April, especially by halfway through April, like we are right now, would have already jumped ship on my savings goals. So I'm just proud of myself for sticking to them so far, and I'm excited for this book to help get me further along in that journey. Right now, I'm on chapter 3, which is the chapter on education, and it specifically talks about student loans, which doesn't really apply to me. I am still going to go ahead and read this full chapter. Um, just because, anybody I know going forward, my best friend's daughter is currently in her freshman year of college. So she's actually been doing pretty well for herself as far as scholarship and things go. So I don't believe that she's in any type of debt. But chapter 2 was about like car loans, what to do, what not to do with car loans. And then like I like that it has areas where you can answer questions, take notes, um, just to help you learn more really about the process. It's not just a book to read. The first chapter is on credit, and there's information there. I didn't write anything in the book. I did take some notes outside of the book, just in case if I want to, let anybody borrow this book. I don't want them writing it if they're going to give it back, but I also don't want to have, my personal financial information in here that I may, let somebody borrow this book or something like that. But after the chapter on student loans is a chapter called Get Out. And I don't really know exactly what this chapter is about, but I'm excited to find out. But like I said, I'm going to go ahead and finish the chapter on education first. There's not really a lot of actual chapter. It goes through chapter 8. So I'm about a third of the way done, and I have until the end of the month when um, we talk about it during the weeks going forward. But like I was telling you before, this month is a little bit different. We're not meeting today. We're going to have a very short meeting next week, and then we'll kind of get back to it. It'll already be the end of the month, and we're going to have the author come in and talk to our book club for that meeting. So I do want to have it done by then, but I don't feel like I'm not going to, with only 8 chapters to get through. And then there's a conclusion and a little bit after that. But what I'm enjoying most about this book so far is that it's definitely given a lot of tips on how to be better with your financial practices and making smarter money moves when it comes to the different types of debt, good debt, bad debt, all the different things like that. But I also like how this book is talking to me, how Miss Paris Woods is talking to me. Like, she's talking to me as a black woman who is not incredibly familiar with a lot of different types of financial terms when it comes to the heavy hitter type financial stuff. I know the basics, I'm doing good there, but when it comes to the next level of financial literacy, I don't have as much knowledge, and this book is talking to me on my level while giving me the additional knowledge that I'm looking for. So that's definitely what I appreciate about it. I'll give a more in-depth review once I actually finish it, but that's just where I am right now. Um, but for the most part, I'm about to go back inside. I'm gonna watch some basketball. Some NBA basketball games are on today. Today is the last day of basketball season. And not for nothing, it's also the anniversary of Kobe's last game, which was on April 13th, 2016. He was my favorite player, but I'm gonna go back inside in a little bit. I might chill out here for just a little bit more because it feels really, really good outside, especially on the shade, on our patio back in the backyard. It feels really good outside. But like I said, I'm gonna go back inside and watch some basketball, and I'll talk to you a little bit later. All right, girl. So I made an early dinner today. I didn't feel like doing a whole big old thing for Sunday dinner, so I just made a couple of two-piece chicken dinners for me and husband and called it a day. It's actually early enough to where it's still light outside, so I'm gonna take advantage of being done with the day before it's dark outside. Because normally I'm about to head into book club right now, but I am done for the evening, so I'm gonna go ahead and end this video here. Thank you so much for spending the day with me. If you haven't already, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.